Hello, I'm J.C. Carey, the poet. The questions I'm most often asked what kind of poetry do you write? Or what is a poet anyway? And I'm never sure how to answer these questions, so I wrote this poem called The Poet. Quest for fire, born on a thunderbolt, brought man out of his cave with a jolt. Heated, he sang of something higher, a primitive hymn, but the same choir. Prehistoric poets were like priests, talked to the spirits, learned in their sleep, when awakened, told fantastic tales, teaching what the afterlife entails. They were agents of inner healing by giving a name to the demons. Anger, fear, and doubt, and ignorance are the sins from which we need defense. A thought to take where we want to go, driven by an impetus to know, given enough force to spin around, a hot idea riding on a sound. They were the keepers of the forest, preaching religion in its rawest, brought reincarnation down to earth. Spring is but a natural rebirth. Poets reel in zones once forbidden, on the waves of the grave an image, for imagination transcends time and opens new vistas of the mind. The poet dreams of something better. He learned by rote and by the letter, each one with a meaning of its own, the unknown deciphered by the known. Poets write what cannot be proven, trying to make the verses moving, offering up a new perception to take effect upon reception. The poet is speaking evermore, a universal image implored, in his language of only one word, the emotional content transferred. Everyone is a work in progress, an individual to be addressed. The task is to complete his function. Each is a majority of one. He opted for pensive, not pension, traded in his calm for intensive, preparing the future of mankind, a deeper connection to the mind. He must make lucid and transparent what is not readily apparent. The invisible air we all breathe is not so difficult to believe. He sees existence in an apple. Trees bear the truth which has us baffled. The fruits of his labors is the thing, the golden pears brought to the king. The poet tends to be sensitive, though is hesitant to mention it, barely getting by sharp vibrations, skin worn thin by too many close shaves. Reading, writing, and rhythmic ticks, his education of the matrix, applying his time for one good line in every text, caught in a bind. He did not even have an inkling what it was he would be uplinking. No cognitive function could they find when he gave them a piece of his mind. The poet has seen the light of lights. What he knows he learns by what he writes. Not a master of metaphysics, but is a witness to the mystic. Considered a fool by the adept and incomprehensible to the rest, the poet is stuck between two planes, both resisting what he has to say. Reading light and writing in the dark, the poet's intention is a lark. The reason he is dropping vague hints, because he has had only a glimpse. The poet, appealing to the soul, is trying to reach his highest goal, To win the hearts and minds is his game, in a place where we are all the same. Inspiration comes at a high price, ruination of physical life. What poets go through, the muses tell, is literally a living hell. Hard to wax poetic about evil. There is no rhyme or reason to it. A blind impulse against advancement, to everybody's disadvantage. Spells are cast on those who spell it out, what the mystical is all about. Withheld knowledge from the populace is but a spiritual censorship. Electric coursing curse the poet. He is being locked up for knowing. Enlightenment killed by black magic. Why the classics are filled with tragic. Fine line between genius and madness, dividing the screaming from sadness. The wild-eyed poet is living proof. One must be crazy to believe the truth. Become a part of evolution, a rotation and revolution. The possibilities are boundless. Leave the world better than you found it. The spring of life collapsed from his step, a powered-down electromagnet. The old poet is taking one last look at the perilous journey he took. Everything seems to be factual, but what is finished is actual, and everyone has his own deadline. The body of work we leave behind. Half of it is knowing when to stop, the other half is never stopping. What was said and how it came to pass. All he wrote was his own epitaph. Thank you.